myself Shweta Shah and I am your instructor for the subject microprocessor and microcontroller. In this subject we have started with a file that is area programming in C. And in this session we are going to see today the topic that is timer 2 programming and timer 1 programming concepts. So let us start with the first timer 2 programming. This timer 2 is the 8-bit timer, therefore it works same as the way that timer 0 works. But there is two difference between this. First one is this timer 2 can be used as a real-time counter. So to do so, we should connect a crystal of 32.768 kilohertz to the TOSC1 and TOSC2 pin of the area and set the AST bit also. Okay, so you have to connect the crystal that is of 32.768 kilohertz frequency. And second difference is that in timer 0, when the CS02 to CS00 have the values 110 or 111, the timer 0 counts the external events. But for the timer 2, the multiplexer selects between the different scales of the clocks. In other words, the same value of CS bit in timer 0 has different meaning or different value, and for timer 2 it has a different meaning. Okay, so if we consider this, this is like this. This is the TCCR2, that is the timer counter control resistor for timer 2, and it has 8 bits. These are the selection for the CS, that is CS0, CS1 and CS2. But it is for the timer 2, so we have written it like CS20, CS21, CS22. Then this is the different bit pattern that is same as that we have seen for the timer 0, as this D7, that is the force comparator match. It is a write only bit and which can be used while generating the waves. Writing 1 to it causes the wave generator to act as if the compare match had been found. Okay, and the next two bits are that is D6 and D5 are used for selecting the mode. If it is 00, then normal mode. If it is 01, then CTC mode. If it is 10, then PWM, that is pulse width modulation mode. And if it is 11, then it is the fast pulse width modulation mode. And this D5 and D4 bits are used for the compare output mode. And this bits controls the waveform generator that we have seen for the timer 0. And lastly, the 3 bits, that is D2, D1 and D0 are used for the clock selection. If it is 000, then no clock sources. If it is 001, then the clock source that you are available with use directly without the pre-scaling. If your value is like 010, then you have to divide your clock by 8. If it is 011, then divide by 32. Then for next pattern you will divide by 64, divide by 128, divide by 256 or divide by 1024. Here these two selections are different for the timer 0 and the timer 2. Here for timer 0 we have the selection from the some external input, while here we have this pre-scaling method. So by this way you can select how you will select the mode of the timer 2 and how you will use this frequencies. Okay, so this is the TCCR2, that is timer counter control resistor. Now let us see the example how we can set this TCCR2 resistor. Here we have to find the value of TCCR2 resistor if we want to program the timer 2 in the normal mode with the prescaler 64 using the internal clock as a clock source. So for 64 as a pre-scaling, we have this selection 100 for the last 3 bits. So we have to put this 100 for last 3 bits and remaining bits are 0 for the normal mode. So our selection for the TCCR2 will be like 000, then 0100. So this will be the selection for pre-scaling of 64. Instead of 64, you will give another pre-scaling, then you have to select the bit pattern for the last 3 bits according to that. Okay, now let us see the another example in which we have to use the pre-scaling of 64 and we have to write the program to generate the delay of 1920 microseconds and assuming the crystal frequencies of 8 megahertz. So here we have to generate the delay, just code for the delay, and delay is of 1920 microseconds. and the crystal frequency given is the 8 megahertz and prescaler is of 64. So our timer clock will be, first we have to divide by 64 because we have used the prescaler of 64. So actual frequency will be 8 megahertz divided by 64, that is equals to 125 kilohertz. And the time period for this frequency will be 1 divided by 125 kilohertz, that is equals to 8 microseconds. So for each and every clock we are getting the delay of 8 microseconds and we have to generate the delay of 1920 microseconds. So total count we require is 1920 divided by 8 microseconds, and that is equals to 240. So this 240 is our counter that we have to load inside the resistor that contains the counter, that is the TC and T2. This is timer 2, so it is TC and T2. So let us see the example for the delay. First we have to load this count value inside the TC and T2 resistor. So first we have to load into some temporary resistor. We are using the 20 resistor. So first use the instruction LDI R20, 240. It will load the value inside the resistor 20, but here we have loaded the value as a negative. So we have loaded the value of its 2's complement, and that is 0 cross 10, that is used as a counter. Then we are sending this to the TC and T2 resistor, and by using the instruction out TC and T2, R20, it will load the timer 2. Then we have to use the instruction for the selecting the modes and the prescaling value, and that is the 04 that we have seen for the last case. For normal mode and prescaling value is of 64, so we are getting the value 04. So we are using that value, storing this temporarily inside the resistor 20 and then sending it to the TCCR2 resistor by using the instruction out TCCR2, R20. It will select the timer 2 in the normal mode and the prescaling of 64. Now let us see the code for the delay, in which first we have to take the input from the timer interrupt flag resistor, that is TIFR resistor, and store this inside the resistor 20 temporarily. Then we have to check the bits of that particular resistor, and by using this instruction, that is SBRS R20, TOV2, it will compare the bit of this T0V0 whether it is set or not. If it is set, then it will skip the next instruction, and if it is not set, then it will execute the next instruction. And what is in the next instruction? There you are used to the jump instruction, and that is the R jump again. It will jump to the again, and again it will check for the flag whether it is set or not. If it is set, then it will not execute the next instruction, execute the next instruction, otherwise it will jump to here. Okay, when this flag is set, then it will not execute this R jump instruction and it will go to the LDI instruction. Now these instructions are written for the resetting that flags that we have set in the TOV2. Okay, so these are the instruction next for the resetting the timer overflow flag. By using this instruction, first we have to load 00 in some temporary resistor, then send this to the TCCR2, that is your timer counter control resistor. So use the instruction LDI R20, 0 and then send it to the TCCR2 resistor by using out TCCR2, R20. It will stop the timer 2, and then we have to clear that flag also, and by using this instruction that we have used in previous case, that is LDI R20, 1 and shift left TOV2. It will shift this one TOV2 times, that is the position of the timer overflow V2 flag. Okay, so it will clear your flag inside the resistor 20, and after this we have to send it to the TIFR, so your flag is going to be clear. So we have to use here out TIFR, R20. It will clear the flag TOV2 for this timer 2 and then return to the main program. So this is the basically delay code, delay subroutine for the 64 prescaler, and required delay is of 1920 microseconds. Okay, so by this way we can create the delay by using this timer 2. Now let us see the another example in which we have to see write the program to generate the delay of 8 milliseconds and assume the crystal frequency of 8 megahertz and using the CTC mode, in which we have to check which prescaler will be okay for us. So if we consider the different prescaler for this 8 megahertz frequency, so we will get this different frequency. Depending upon that, we will get the different time period for the each clock, and depending upon that, we can calculate the timer counter value for each case. If we consider the first case that we require 8 megahertz frequency, we are having the 8 megahertz frequency without prescaling, so our actual frequency will be 8 megahertz. Time period for this frequency will be 1 divided by 8 megahertz, that is equals to 0.125 microseconds. And to create the delay of 8 milliseconds, you will require the count value of 8 milliseconds divided by 0.125 microseconds, that is equals to 64K. So this is the larger value of the counter that we can store inside the 8-bit register. So that is not possible for us to use this value as a counter for creating the delay of 8 milliseconds. Similarly, if you use the prescaler of 8, you will get the count value of 8000. For 32, you will get the value of 2000. For 64, you will get the value of 1000. For prescaler of 128, you get the value of 500, and for 256, you will get the value of 250. And for prescaler value of 1024, if you calculate the value for the timer, then you will get the 62.5. So you can use any of this value, 256 or 1024 as a prescaler. But if you consider the 1024, then you are getting some decimal points in the count, and that is not possible. How you can put the decimal with the count? So you have to take the whole number, and that is the 250. So we will use the 250 as a counter. Now let us see the code for this delay, in which we have to select the prescaler of 256 and the normal one. So for selection of 256, we have the value of, for selection of 256, we have the value of 110. And we are using this in the CTC mode, so the value of D6 and D5 will be 01. So depending upon that, the bit pattern for the this resistor will be like this: 00001. This is for the selection of the mode, and then 110 for the selection of the prescaler. So this will be the value that we have to store inside the TCCR2 resistor. Then you have to generate, or you have to create the code for the delay that is nearly same as that we have seen in the previous case, but the counter value will be different. First we will load the counter, that is 259, inside the resistor 20, and then send it to the output compact resistor, this TC and T2 counter with the 0, and the output control resistor with the value of this count, that is 259. So these are the instructions for loading this. And then we have to load the TCCR2 resistor with the value of 0E. This is the E value, okay, 0 and E. So we will load this with the 0E value by using out TCCR2, R20, and in R20 we have already stored 0E. Then we have to use the in instruction, in which we will see the TIFR flag. First we will store inside the resistor 20, and then we will check the OCF2, that is the out overflow control flag for the timer 2. We will check for the OCF2 whether it is set or not. Up to when it is not set, we will go for the again, and again this loop is going to be continuous. Up to when this flag doesn't become 1, it will go to the again, and this loop will continue. After becoming 1, it will go out of the loop, and it will stop the timer. For this we have to load 0 inside the TCCR2 resistor by using this 2 instruction, that LDI R20, 0, and then send it to the TCCR2 resistor, and after that you have to clear the flag of the OCF2, and this can be done by this instruction LDI R20, 1 shift left OCF2. So it will set the OCF2 bit inside the bit pattern of resistor 20, and then you will send it to the TIFR flag by using out TIFR, R20 instruction. So this will reset your, or you can say clear your flag OCF2. So by this way we can use this timer 2 programming for this AVR controller. Now let us see the timer 1 programming. Timer 1 is the 16-bit timer and it has lots of capabilities. Since timer 1 is of 16-bit timer, the 16-bit register is split into two parts, that is TCNT1L and TCNT1H, that is the lower byte and the higher byte. Then the timer 1 is also has the two control registers that are known as a TCCR1A and TCCR1B, that is the timer counter control 1 and 2. And it has a overflow flag, that is TOV1, that is timer overflow flag bit. It will set to high when the overflow occurs, and this timer 1 has a pre-scaler options like 1gen1, 1gen8, 1gen64, 1gen256 and 1gen1024. And there are two OCR registers are available, that is for the output control register, that is OCR1A and OCR1B. When this TCNT1 is equals to the OCR1A, the OCF1A flag will be set on the next clock, and if your TCNT1 is equals to OCR1B, at that time this OCF1B flag will be set. Here you are having the two output control resistor, and that you can compare with the TCNT, and depending upon that comparison any of one flag is going to be set. As the timer 1 is the 16-bit timer, these OCR registers are of the 16-bit as well as they are made of two 8-bit registers that are, for example, if we consider the OCR1A, then it is made of OCR1AH and OCR1AL, that is upper byte and the lower byte. So this is the basic block diagram for this timer 1. This is the 16-bit TCNT1, that is lower part and the higher part. Then you have the two OCR resistors, OCR1B and OCR1A, and that are considering of the two part, upper part and lower part, that they are going to be compared with this TCNT1 resistor, and depending upon that your OCF1B or OCF1A flag is going to be generated, and it is having the two control resistors, that is TCCRA1 and TCCR1B. Okay, so this is the basic resistors that are available with the timer 1. Now let us see the control resistor, that is TCCR1A for this timer 1. Here you have the 8-bit control resistor in which you have to select the compare mode for the channel, whether you are using for D7 and D6, you are comparing the output mode for the channel A, whether this output is compared and that are equal or not. So you are using these 2 bits for the comparing with the channel A, and next 2 bits are used for the comparing with the channel B, and D3 bits are used for force the output compare for the channel A, and similarly D2 is used for the compare for the channel B, and this D1 and D0 are used for the timer mode selection. And here you can use this for TCCR1B register. You have this pattern. Here you have D7 bit for the input capture noise canceller and D6 bit for the input compare edge selection. If its value is 0, then it is disable, and if its value is 1, then it is enable. And then you are using this 4 bits for the selection of the mode. And generally we are using the normal mode or the CTC mode, and for this we have the selection of 00 and 00 for the B and 00 for the A. Okay, so by using this selection you can consider, you can generate the TCCR resistors value, or you can say control resistors value, and you can load that value inside the resistor and use the same technique for the programming that we have used for the timer 0 and timer 2. Okay, so here we are ending our today's session. If you have any query, then you can contact me.